jet flying son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators.
You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. Yeah, we Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. It's apparent these girls staring. I'm Rick flaring, gold across my chest. I'm fresh to death, I'm Paul Bearing, not at all scary. One eye open like Betty Wops and find to these circles that's going in like a carry shot. Woo! I'm going in like a Mary Pop off that Mary Crop at the top flow at the Marriott. So questioning me is like questioning you. See, we the best dressed, so come and get blessed with the crew. Not one but two, different ways to slaughter your crew. Commanded tat across the chest, I guess she blessed with the truth. People want to see them checks, representation of proof. Living through my elders, trying to resonate to the youth. But ain't nothing to get my flash on. Longevity is heavily embedded in my melanin. Layman terms, I last long. My grind repetitive, I'm smoother than real silk. Lyrical cash cow, who can't cry over spilled milk. We in here. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. This ain't no normal situation, this preparation with greatness. Industry full of fakeness, it's really up for the taking. See, life is what happened to you, more so how you take it. Don't get stripped of your knowledge and mentally leave you naked. I like to live otherwise. I'm sorry that I'm fresh to death. I put the polo and apologize. See, black son, we ain't nothing like the mother guys. Quit to socialize, we organize, then we mobilize. Off the deep end like a scuba diver. And no confusion, just keep it pushing like Uber drivers. Woo! Business fresh just like a supervisor in a Gucci visor. Can't find a smoother rhymer. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us.
Yeah, DQ baby. Shout out that boy Nigga for that fire track. Hey, Black Sun, sun up. What's up, Vinny Vegas? What in Vegas? Yeah. Shout out Pharaoh's Kids, D-Face, yeah, Bubba C, yeah, Rick flaring on him, Rick flaring on him, Rick flaring on him, Rick flaring, sun up, baby.
Hey, yo, Scotty, you going crazy for this one. We see what you're doing, we salute you. Hey, let's get it started. It's Backpack Capital One. What's in your wallet? Got a call from my man A. Scott. I said I got it. Love that you highlighting all of these black colleges. Try to pay me for doing this. Look, bruh, if you don't get off my line with that foolishness, voice of the swag, pull up where you at. No cap if the Brody is speaking the soft facts. My advice, tune in to every show. Captain Petty, but we know that the sergeant is with the smoke. Speculate, just tell me what is we doing. Get into it, okay, look, I'ma say this and keep it moving. My boy Scotty, man, he offered the least. Black grad, paying college, I'm glad that he called me. Walking, cause we all been taught that talk is cheap. Even primetime knows Scott for the HBCU streets.
What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Scotty. Listen, happy Hope Day. You already know what it is. It's Wednesday. Midday show. Only way I can give it to you. You know what I'm saying? I'm a full-time parent now, so I got to give it to you when I can give it to you. My daughter's sleep, you know what I'm saying? Got to lay it down, you know what I'm saying? And then shoot down and then go get my kids from the bus stop. We out here parenting, all right? So please bear with me. Now, I did add a poll in the question, which would you prefer, me do my midday shows or me do my late night shows? Please answer that. That'll help me with what, I'm trying to do. Maybe I'll save these midday shows and move them to night. And then, just let it roll for the night, 8, 8:30, something like that. All right. Also, be on the lookout. I got a new show coming on Mondays. It's going to be with my boy, Perry White. Okay. It is what it is. We are trying to keep the Monday 5 and feels rolling. There's nothing better than a quick reaction on Mondays. So please be ready for that coming up in the near future. And I'll make those announcements when we got the name show and everything like that and drop that. And I got to get a theme song. It wouldn't be Offscript if I didn't have my own theme song with it. So all that is coming as well. All right. And it will not be a Southern show. Okay. I want to make that very clear. It won't be a Southern show. Okay. It will be a variety show, kind of in the same realm of the Afterglow, but we're just going to try to take it another level. Maybe add some SEC, some FCS and things like that. We still touching the base, okay? We love our black football and black people, but we going to try to, we trying to overarch this thing, all right? So we're going to try to do it a little bigger and better, all right? So it is what it is. All right, listen, today is a full jam-packed show. I got shout-outs. We talking football. We talking HBCU Go. I don't know if I'm talking football. I don't got too much football stuff on there. But we talking a lot of stuff today, and it's jam-packed. So let's get right into it. All right, listen, guys. I know you have heard about the Hulu documentary and everything like that, right? It is running rampant on Twitter. It is going wild. But I didn't know if you knew, okay? I don't know if you know. Right? It is running, like I said, it is running rampant. Everybody's talking about it, the uncovered scenes of stuff and things like that. But I don't know if you know. One of our very own could be in the documentary, Bishop Campbell. Now, I want you all to be on the lookout for this man in the documentary. It's a bolo. You know what I'm saying? He does a lot of things out here. It is a straight bolo. Okay, that is him with his crew. All right. I wanted to zoom in so he could possibly be in this documentary. Now, I am not the type of person to hold a young man in his endeavors in his young days because he is now of the cloth. He is now of the cloth. So I wouldn't really hold him accountable for his actions during that era. Okay? But if you see something, if you see something, say something, okay? If you see something, say something. But once again, we here at Offscript Media Group are not holding Bishop Campbell accountable of his past indiscretions, okay? It was the time, do as what they say, do as the Romans do. When in Rome, do as the Romans, okay? That was the time back then. You know what I'm saying? But if, like I said, if you should just happen to see something, say something. All right, so that's just a little endeavor right there. If if you just so happen to see that, you feel me? I just want to be very clear on that aspect. You know what I'm saying? It's out there. Now you know. If you didn't know, as they say, now you know. All right. So moving on, want to give a shout out to the FAMU tennis champions of the SWAC Regular Season champions. The only reason I'm doing this is because my boy Kofi would be talking about this, and I could care less. No disrespect to the tennis girls. I'm not a tennis guy. I know Kofi loves tennis. I know he'll be super happy. He'll be striking and singing FAMU blase. So I'm gonna give them credit. Shout out to them for winning the regular season championship. Maybe some of that can rub off on the football season and you guys actually pull something out and actually get a championship, a trophy, you know what I'm saying? Or you can share it with the tennis team. Whichever, it's your prerogative, not mine, okay? It's your prerogative, you know what I'm saying? Do what you do, but watch my shoes, okay? So want to give a shout out to that. Also, want to give a shout out, you already know what it is, Texas Southern, Andrew Buddy! And the Texas Southern Tigers have their spring game. I apologize for missing it. It is also April 15th, 11 a.m. If you are in Houston and you would like to see that, go out and check them boys out, see what they're doing now. I don't know why the hell they got a game at 11 a.m. You guys are just one smidgen above Alabama A&M in my boat because that is just ridiculous. Okay, that is just pure ridiculousness that you'll be doing a spring game at 11 a.m. Like, it's a Saturday, bro. It's a freaking Saturday. Okay, so if you are in Houston, go check them out. I don't know why they're doing a game at 11 a.m. Could have been at least 2 or 3. That's just my personal opinion. But, you know, hey, when you're only relevant because of Andrew, you don't know how to act. You don't know how to do stuff the right way. Okay, you don't know how to do stuff the right way, and this is one of the reasons. All right, so doing a game at 11 a.m. They feel that that's the necessary. I don't believe in it, but hey, to each his own. All right, next up. Listen, this has not been getting enough credit where credit is due, okay? Because if anybody remembers, I was one of the first people to interview one of these girls from Fisk University who was going to the who have their own gymnastics team, first HBCU to have a gymnastics team. Now, that lady is no longer on that team. Well, that's neither here nor there. But for their first year to have 3 first-team All-Americans. Come on, man. Come on. This is amazing. Shout out to Fisk. Shout out to what they're doing. Shout out to these 3 lovely ladies, Morgan Price, Liberty Mora, Zaya Coleman. Shout out to you ladies. Hope you guys are killing it, and you guys go there, kill it. I know they got some bronze medals and things like that coming home with a medal. I am super excited. I definitely missed them being here. I think they were here in at the Georgia. I was trying to get some media access. I couldn't get it. And then some stuff came up, you know what I'm saying? But shout out to the girls of Fisk doing their thing in the gymnastics. First year coach. She's also the athletic director, if I'm not mistaken, as well. So they're really doing some special things down there at Fisk. Shout out to them. I was trying to give me a hoodie. Somebody from Fisk, if you know, come on, like hook a brother up. Like, I'm not going to say I'm the only one talking about y'all, but I mean, like, I'm kind of like the only people talking about y'all, but you know what I'm saying? I'm just going, but congratulations, ladies. Absolutely, congratulations. So that, and then listen, you know me, anybody can get the smoke, right? But this is what I cannot wait for, okay? I cannot wait for this. This is going to be huge. This is going to be absolutely huge. Now, remember, I don't know if you know, Talladega is now getting their own gymnastics team, if I'm not mistaken. And Fisk is going to have theirs. So you're possibly en route to having an all black girl gymnastics meet. Now, HBCU League Pass, my sponsors, who I have, who I'm sponsored by, you Bama's got to be in the building and represent. You Bama's got to be there in the building, representing, putting it on HBCU League Pass, and promoting the gosh darn heck out of this thing. This is history in the freaking making. I'm going to do my damnedest to be there, okay? You're talking about an all-black girls meet. Can you smell the cocoa butter? Can you smell the cocoa butter and the olive oil in the room? Okay? And then the music is going to be like that. Because at the white girl meets, at the Caucasus Mountain meets, they be playing Journey and they be playing, Taylor Swift. It ain't gonna be none of that. It's gonna be Beyonce. It's gonna be Rihanna. It's gonna be it's gonna probably be some Silk Sonic. Oh, the music gonna be like that. Oh, the music gonna be like that. And you know we probably gonna be swag surfing in the gymnastics gym. Listen, you gotta be there. Oh, if you're able to be there, you got to be there. I'm just, come on, man. I can smell the cocoa butter now. Okay? I can smell the Bath and Body Works here. I can smell the sweet pea right now. Okay? I am geeked. Absolutely geeked. Okay? Brown girls do them gymnastics. They need to be there. Any black woman, company, event, whatever, this needs to be super duper sponsored. Okay? Like super duper sponsored. So gotta be there, man. I can just, I can just see it. Baby hairs laid, you know what I'm saying? Cocoa butter in the air, Bath and Body Works in there. Just black women excellence, just black women beauty, just glorified. Come on, man. That's why, if I'm being honest, HBCUs need a beach volleyball team. More HBCUs need beach volleyball. Now, I'm not much of a volleyball fan, but I sure do dabble in the arts of beach volleyball. I just want to say that, okay? So I just want to, if you want to get the attention that you're looking for, okay, you want to get on prime time, if you want to get on prime time television, you know what I'm saying? You need to look for, you know what I'm saying, the beach volleyball. Because then everybody's going to be like, yams! Okay? Sweet yams! Show me the way. Cause I got bills to pay. Can we get to the end? So if you're trying to get on TV, I'm just saying, Division 2, do what you do, but watch my shoes. But hey, you know, don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay. I do not know what I am talking about. Just saying. But get to the yams. All right, next up. Next up, I have a segment called What the Hell? Okay. What in the hell? And it's always something like, it's just, you know how like when, you know, in the black household, I don't know if, you know, most of y'all members is black. Y'all understand. In the black household, it's just like, it's like sometimes you just be like, what the hell? Like, you know what I'm saying? like having my kids here full time, it makes me like, let me give you, okay, good example of what in the hell, right? So my son, like, Key has like, she's like super nurturing, right? Lovely, just lovely wife, future wife, right? So she has this thing like, hey, what did I tell you guys? What do you need for your bath? You know what I'm saying? And they have like a whole thing like, I need my towel. I need my pajamas. I need my underwear. I need my washcloth. I need my soap. You know what I'm saying? Like they have all that. She does it all the time. Like literally all the time, right? That's just her thing. Like, what do you need? And they ramble it off like it's a grocery list, right? So my son last night, Key was not here to do all that, right? So she was like on the phone call, just walking around. So, you know, it's me. So I'm just like, hey, get your butts in the tub. You know what I'm saying? It's like, get your butts in the tub. Like, let's go. It's bath time, right? My son, okay, like on, what's the movie? Training Day. My son, Mijo, you know what I'm saying? My son, okay, my last name. He's in the bath, right? And I'm like, hey, man, you got everything? Yeah. He in the bath. I literally walk out the door, right? Go to the dish, wash one dish. Listen to me. I wash one dish. Next thing I know, I hear the bathtub draining and my son comes out with all his clothes. I said, no, not possible. Listen, stay with me. It's all getting to a point of like, what in the hell, right? I'm like, bro, It's no possible way. Like, I just left you to wash a dish, and he's like already coming out with his clothes, right? I'm like, no, I don't want. Oh, I wash my. No, get back in the tub, right? So then he's starting to water back up. He's taking his clothes off. I said, son, where's your washcloth? And he does this thing with his fingers, right? It really bothers me, but he does it like he stands up, like he have his hands, and he just starts tapping his fingers, right? I said, where's your towel? And then he starts looking up in the sky, and he like does this hard blink. I said, I said, how did you dry off? I did it. I'm like, what in the hell? What in the hell? I said, how did you wash? I just grabbed the soap and I just rinsed it over my body. I said, what? What? That's what in the hell, right? So if you're part of a black household, you know what it means by what in the hell? Like, I'm like, so I just walk away like, what in the hell? Like, so that boy said, I didn't. I said, oh, pray for us, man. Just pray for me. Pray for us. You know what I'm saying? Oh, God, man. Oh, Lordy. Oh, Lord. Oh, gosh. Anyway, so that happened. So my what in the hell, right, is this, right? And let me blow this up for you guys so you guys can see it. Listen, and listen, I want to be very careful when I say this, because I don't want this is no shot to the family of Philip S, right? Like it was a tragic loss. You know what I'm saying? You've had this happen to your family and things like that. So by all means, my condolences, right? But what are you getting from suing South Carolina State? Bro, are they going to give you a certificate and maybe like a goodie bag? Like, what are you really going to get from South Carolina State? You're not suing Clemson. You're not suing Clemson. You're not suing the University of South Carolina. You're suing South Carolina State. What are you supposed to get? And how are they liable for your son's passing of CTE? You cannot narrow in the time and say, hey, this play when South Carolina State had him, this is when he got CTE. You cannot do that. Listen, I look at it like this. There are dangers of playing the professional sport. There's dangers of playing football, period. And as you go up in levels, men get bigger. No homo, okay? All right? Men get bigger. The collisions get harder. No homo. And it just happens, right? So understandably, you have to understand the nuances and the things that are going to happen when you're playing the sport of football. And once again, this is not to say that the family's loss or anything is not, my condolences and how they lost them and things like that. I'm terribly sorry. But to sue South Carolina State, what? Sue the Confederate teams. Sue the NFL. Don't sue South Carolina State. This is crazy. So it says in the bottom, it says, has filed a lawsuit against South Carolina State University in negligence in connection with allegedly failing to properly warn Adams about the dangers of repetitive blows to the head, for allegedly failing to provide better protection for football players. This is literally everybody before the movie Concussion. Think about that. This is, you could literally say that about everybody before the movie Concussion and all the concussion protocols. You could sue, anybody could sue any college. If this gets set as a precedent, anybody with CTE could literally sue said institution for whatever has transpired for them in their life over a time. So if you can't do, you just cannot set this precedent, right? No court is going to be able to say, yes, that this, like, and what I'm saying, going forward, maybe, right? With all the concussion protocols, and maybe, you know, he had a concussion, it's documented he had a concussion, and you asked him to go back out. Now we're talking about something completely different. I get it. But in this era, during this time between what, 06 and 09, I think he played for South Carolina State. Come on, man. The concussion protocols were few and far between. And you could literally say that about anybody playing the sport of football at that time, about the dangers. Nobody truly knew the dangers of football, about the CTE and all that type of stuff. So once again, this is just like, what in the hell? Like, what are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sorry for your loss. I truly am. My condolences to the family. Because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he shot his whole family. So it's wild because of CTE and things like that in Rock Hill, South Carolina. So I really wish that, you know, they're not. I wouldn't blame the school. Now, if you want to blame the school for some other stuff, by all means, right? But you can't blame the institution for this. You know what I'm saying? So that one, I'm gonna have to say, what in the hell for that one? That doesn't make too much sense to me. But hey, you know what I'm saying? We'll see. We'll see. You know what I'm saying? And we'll go from there. See where it goes from there. All right, listen, coming up. I preach this, right? You know, you pretty much call me a pastor, and I preach this all the time. All right, I preach this all the time. I tell you, Bammers, all the time. Infrastructure. I had a whole thing on Monday. I said, you know, people talk about, oh, Scotty, the commissioners are combining together and they're talking NIL deal. I don't give a damn about that, because that stuff is so regionally based. It doesn't make any sense, right? Because most schools aren't going to get big time NIL deals because of the simple fact of where they're located and what they cannot bring, you know, eyes and views. So why I'm saying build infrastructure is build infrastructure around the people that you already know love the product, right? So that means merchandising, ticket sales, fan involvement, fan participation, right? You know, maybe like a fan, if you want to build like a alumni walkway where they got to pay like $50 for a brick to have their name on it. Like those are infrastructure things to keep money rolling into you because of why the community that is already surrounding HBCU. So let me give a shout out to the school up in the DMV. Shout out to Howard, okay? They said, you asked, we answered. So that's number one. Can I say that? Number one, they're listening. Number one, they are listening to the people, right? Number two, they created a way for you to buy and purchase this to support them in what they're trying to do. And they say all the proceeds, I'm going to say this again, nice and loud. It says all the proceeds goes to the men's basketball team. Voila. So now they're selling the Mecca jersey, they're selling the Mecca hoodie, and they're selling the Mecca shirt, right? 3 different ways you can get it. Now, this is the cool thing about it, right? They probably didn't call this a pre-order, but they probably made this a pre-order. Why? Let me school you. The reason you do a pre-order is because I don't have to carry the inventory of said merchandise. So they'll probably have this going on for a month, right? Collecting all the orders. So when they make the request to go buy it, everything they have is everything that they've earned, right? They collect it. They don't have to spend an upfront amount of money to get the inventory and then be sitting on inventory that never gets out the building, right? So you have it like this. So I'm assuming it's a pre-order. And me, lastly, I put my money where my mouth is. Okay, shout out to my boy Dave. He knew I'd be happy. I definitely am. So proud of Howard. So proud of HBCU to do this. You know what I'm saying? They're supposed to be the Ivy League of HBCUs. They're thinking, but I put my money where my mouth is. I bought me a Mecca hoodie. Okay? I like hoodies. I'm not a big basketball jersey guy. I ain't never really been a basketball jersey guy. I'm more of like a football, baseball jersey guy, especially baseball jerseys. Like if y'all selling baseball jerseys, y'all gonna break my pockets. I love baseball jerseys, right? But I had to put my money where my mouth is, and I bought me a hoodie, right? So I can't talk about, we all cannot get out here and say, hey, we love what HBCUs are doing. Hey, we love this. Hey, we love that. And then don't support. First of all, I love the Mecca. I mean, I love that the style, the whole 70s. It reminds me of NBA Street Volume 1. Anybody know? If you know, you know, right? So at the end of the day, them starting this way and getting it involved, they can go and take this wherever they want, right? So let's say they go back to, let's say they sell 1,000 of this, right? Let's say they sell 1,000 of a total. They said a total of 1,000, and they're like, "Yo, listen, this is what we did. You know, Jordan, if you put the logo on it, guess how much we can sell it for, and guess how many we can do more of." You get what I'm saying? So you have numbers and you'll have data or data, however you want to pronounce it, to take it back to your sponsor or whoever, Jordan or whatever, and say, "Hey, listen, we've sold this amount. If we get this, we can do this again. Or if we have better promotion, we can do more," and all those type of things. So this is what I mean by building infrastructure, is building around what you already have, right? And doing it the right way and presenting it to your people and the fans that are going to support and buy it and be interested in it. Because if it's one thing about HBCU alums, oh, they're gonna buy some merch. Oh, Nelly, if it's one thing about some HBCUans, they gonna buy some merch, okay? So the best way you can do it is promote it to your people and give them an opportunity to be a part of it and support, especially when they know the proceeds are going back to the school, to the basketball program, which did so well. Hey, that's a great support aspect, right? So you're killing two birds with one stone. Instead of you asking somebody to say, "Hey, make a donation to us," which Howard really don't need no donations. I mean, our endowment is crazy, but we won't say nothing like that. But everybody needs a donation. But instead of you just saying, "Oh, just give us a donation," you're saying, "Hey, we got something for you. In the process of you buying this, it helps this," right? So if let's say Valley, right? Let's say Valley is selling Jerry Rice jerseys, right? Which they should have done that. Let's say they're selling Jerry Rice jerseys and they say, "Hey, every jersey sold goes to the Field Capital Campaign Fund." Right? So now you get an authentic throwback. You're like, hell yeah, I get an authentic throwback Jerry Rice jersey. Probably gonna cost you about $200, $250, right? You sell 1,000 of them jokers, you know what I'm saying? And that all goes back to the Capital Campaign Fund of you trying to get yourself a new field. So you're killing two birds with one stone. Same thing with Alcorn. If Alcorn is looking to do something, a new Jumbotron, a new this, a new that, or whatever, raise money for the football team. Hey, we're selling an exclusive McNair jersey, a commemorative McNair jersey, maybe with his stats on it, right? Like, this is a 1 in a time, 1 in a million, you know what I'm saying? We're putting all the stats on it, all the championships, whatever, and we're selling the shirt for $100, right? And we're selling it for a limited time. Okay, well, those shirts and those proceeds go to whatever. So that's how you use what you already have, and you supply your fan base, and you get the money that you're looking for. You get what I'm saying? So shout out to Howard for doing that. Shout out to the Mecca. Shout out for whoever did it. I ain't gonna lie to you. The process was a little sketchy. I ain't gonna lie to you. The process was a little sketchy. It looked like my hoodie ain't gonna come for about 2 or 3 weeks, but I'll keep y'all Bama's updated, okay? I'll keep y'all Bama's updated and see when I get my hoodie and stuff like that. It look a little sketchy, though. I ain't gonna hold you. It look a little sketchy. But, I spend money on less. I spend money on worse. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Howard for making that happen. All right. waiting to talk about this one. Okay. Word on the street. Home Depot, Retool Your School is a scam. Oh, I've been waiting to talk about this one. I had to get my mind right, had to get the stuff right. Shout out to Yard Talk for the information. Word on the street is Retool Your School is a scam. And you know I love to talk about it. Because everybody up in arms. Oh my God, Retool Your School. Oh my God, 150K. Oh my God, look at this. Oh my God, we're getting money. Bro, these are the rules of Retool Your School, right? It says the first place winner will receive $150,000. Second place will receive $100,000. Third place, 80, such as forward. Grants are awarded in the form of a Home Depot gift card. The Home Depot gift card are only redeemable for products and services sold at the Home Depot store. Now, mind you, listen to this. Think about this. How do I ever really lose money? If I offer you $150,000 and you can only spend the money at my store. And you got to pay taxes. So you got to keep it underneath 150, because if it goes over 150, then you still got to put your own money into it. So they hustle, like you're hustling backwards. So you can't even, you're literally just buying the tools. They're not paying for the labor to get it done. They're not paying for the contractor to come out and inspect it. They're not paying for anything other than the tools and the equipment. So the lumber, the nails, the hammer, the electric nail, automatic, I don't know, all the nuts and 3/4 bolts and all type. That's all you're buying. You're buying the materials, and you still have to go out and find the people to get it done. So you win $150,000. You give it right back to Home Depot, because guess where you got to go to buy the materials? To Home Depot. So I give the money back. So now I'm back in the black because I got my money back, right? So now you got $150,000 worth of materials with nobody to do the work. With nobody to do the work. So now you got to go out, find a contractor, pay them, pay the labor. You don't see where the scam is? So how did you retool my school? How did you retool? You re-upped my materials for my school. You didn't retool shit. But this is what everybody's up in arms about. This is what everybody going crazy for. Oh, we got to win. Oh, we got to win $150,000. Oh, we got to be first. RTS. I'm like, what the crap? I'm like, this is ridiculous. They're not even giving you cash. This is a $1 billion company. They can't even give you $150,000 cash. So you can take your $150,000 and go put it wherever you want. No. Retool my pockets, Home Depot. This is crazy to me. And this is what everybody be on Twitter going crazy. And then they say it's free money. Oh, Scotty, I've never seen anybody get mad over free money. It ain't free. It's a scam. It's Hustle Man talking to you. That's all it is. It's Hustle Man. What you got, what you want, I got it. It's Hustle Man. But once again, it's what happens when you don't know. See, this is a thing that, and shout out to Yard Talk because she's the one that posted this, and I want to give her every bit of credit. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I ain't go searching. I ain't going no fine print. Shout out to Yard Talk on Twitter. You know, she the Debo of these streets. You know what I'm saying? But so they've been doing this for years, and this has always been in the fine print. And nobody has ever came out and told their school, hey, listen, it ain't really worth it. I mean, maybe we can buy some chairs. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we can get some lawnmowers. You know what I'm saying? We can get some lawnmowers and things like that. We can get some, we can get a patio set. You know what I'm saying? Get a new washer and dryer for the basketball team. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless you're looking at it like that, unless you're trying to get that type of stuff, new paint, you know what I'm saying? Use some elbow grease to paint your own stuff. I don't know why you're really focused on this, Jane. I ain't even going to hold you. So when everybody was saying, when I told everybody it wasn't a big deal, I ain't even know about the fine print. I just said, this don't make no sense because they stealing your data, and data is worth 10 times as much as what they paying you. All that micro data that they getting from all the demographics from HBCUs, that's worth 20 times what they paying you out. Easily. But hey, you never they say the greatest trick the devil ever did was tell you he didn't exist. Is make you believe he didn't exist. So keep believing. All right, listen. All I am here to do is show you the way. Okay, listen. I don't ask for sheep and herd mentality. All I ask is that I lay you out the information. I get it. I show you what it is, and then from there, you go make your own decision on what you want. I can be a loser. I can be I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I can be the best thing since sliced bread. You know what I'm saying? But it is your choice to make your decision off what you want to do with it. You know what I'm saying? But hey, teach his own. Teach his own. But at the end of the day, I've been telling y'all, you need to retool your mind. Got to retool your mind. Okay? That's where it starts at. That's where it starts at. Got to retool your mind. You talking about retool your school. No, retool your mind. Okay? Rubik's Cube that thing. Because this is ridiculous. Tired of teaching y'all Alabama's. I'm tired of schooling y'all Alabama's, man. It's always me, and then I'm the bad guy. Oh, Scotty, you don't know nothing. Then I get the ESPN contract. Then, damn, Scotty, why you putting us on blast like that? Why you talking about this guy like that? Why you talking about this guy like that? Why you always got something negative to say? It's like, bro, like, I'm just giving you the facts. I'm not even really talking negative. I'm just telling you what it is, my boy. Hey, to each his own. To each his own. So, getting down to the main topic today. All right. Once again, call-ons are open, 518-263-8124, 518-263-8124. We gonna talk a little HBCU. Go. Now, when I dip my toe into the HBCU Go realm, and once again, I am sponsored by HBCU League Pass, as you can see up there. But at the end of the day, I call a spade a spade. Because, since I'm not, I'm not media, I got to have some journalistic integrity out here. You know what I'm saying? So, listen, and I've said this before, I love HBCU Go's production. I've said it time and time again. I love HBCU Go's production, right? And what they're doing. I'm just going to give you the aftermath of everything, of just like the overarching view of everything. So then once again, as I always say and state, you can come to your own opinion and you can go with it from where all I'm going to do is tell you what I see, give you the facts, and then you go from there. Right? So I asked, where you been? Right? Now, the reason, oh yeah, I need Lowe's. I need that Lowe's sponsorship all day, every day. I need that. Yeah, they can definitely hook me up with that. You know what I'm saying? Now, the reason I ask that is because because you got like one thing about black people, and let's keep it a buck, right? We are some forgiving and forgetting people, okay? Because we're all about headlines, not details. Now, women about the details when they want to be, right? They about the details and relationships and like, oh, I noticed this girl. I can't believe she gonna use my stapler like she ain't got her own stapler. You know, like little details like that, right? But what I've noticed about the HBCU community and all that you guys are more of a headline. Like you don't really care about the details. Now, I think as more information comes out and more FOIA requests and more contracts that I get, I think a lot more people are asking the questions now. But I would say before I jumped on the scene, people just like, that's what they said. I'm like, well, can you show but that's what they said. They said that, right? So I'm trying to get you guys to stop looking at the headline and really getting into the nuance and the minutia of a lot of these deals and a lot of things that are just being said and pushed. So once again, the reason why I asked where you've been, and that's the question, is because I was told in the article that was read numerous of times, and that was been said numerous of times, we did a deal with the SWAC for over 2,000 live sporting events, games, and all that type of stuff. So my thinking was this, and shout out to my boy Kenny for, we had a conversation about this, and he really got my mind jogging about it, right? Is that why haven't they been showing the spring games? Now, I ask you this. You got everything. We know ESPN don't give a damn about the spring games. They only did because of Dion. We know you have over 200 live events. One, we know you can't do everything because you damn sure ain't show tennis. You damn sure ain't show bowling. You damn sure ain't show track. You damn sure ain't show baseball. So you got all this, but you're not showing any of it. Let's just be clear about that. So the commissioner is not holding HBCU Go to their contract. We can start there. But if you have the capability and you're supposed to be the quote unquote SWAC network, and come on, man. Now, I got clips of Dr. McNugget calling them the SWAC network, right? Why are you not doing more for the SWAC that you've partnered with? Why aren't the spring games on HBCU Go? You have access. You know what? Why is there no training camp footage from HBCU Go? That might be a little too hard. Why are there not spring updates on football at HBCU Go? Like, I can keep this going because if you have all this access and you have all this, the leeway for all the sports, why are you not taking advantage of the content? So you guys are talking about like, oh my God, we got all this and we're getting paid this and we got that, we got this, but you're not getting what was spoken about in the contract. Now, you know me. I'm sitting back at the crib and I'm like, this got me feeling like something. And this is what this got me feeling.
I heard from you in the wild, boy, where you been?
I heard from you in a while, boy, where you been, okay? That's what it got me feeling. I'm just like, hey, I heard from you in a while, boy, where you been? Okay? So it just don't sit well with me. And you know me. I gotta question the head man in charge. You gotta question the head man in charge. And I got tired. I get tired of me. Oh, so I went and got professional help. I'm a black man, right? And I needed to know if somebody was lying. So there's only one person that I could go to figure out if Dr. McNugget was lying. There's only one person. If you black and you need to get a lie, you need to know if somebody lying. It's only one person you can go to. I had to go to Maury. And when I went to Maury, I showed him a couple clips. I showed Maury a couple. I said, Maury, I'm going to need you to bust out your lie detector test on these clips that I have. He's like, Scotty, we've never done that before, but, hey, we're on season 45. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. I said, thank you, Maury. So this was the first clip that I showed Maury on if Dr. McNugget was lying.
Happy holidays. Can you talk a little bit about TV opportunities in terms of a possible SWAC network and what that might look like, and as you move forward, the television aspect of the SWAC?
Yeah, Mr. Hill, I would say we already have a SWAC network. It's called HBCU Go in conjunction with ESPN. When you look at our football games, out of the 60 plus games, only 8 of them were not televised. So what we looked at overall a couple of years ago was that we wanted our games to be on national television. Obviously, the digital side has been able to expand, but having your own network has to equate to revenue. And ESPN and HBCU Go has given us the greatest opportunity to enhance our overall revenue structure. That's what our corporate partners were looking for, and that's what ultimately we were able to deliver. So it is not our intent to create a SWAC network. Part of our deal with HBCU Go is that they're going to expand their platform, where all of our SWAC games, whether it's football, softball, baseball, soccer, track, tennis, will be streamed on HBCU Go, and some of those will be picked up on a national basis as football was. So part of the revenue that we're receiving, we're going to invest in infrastructure on our 12 campuses to where we'll have artificial intelligent cameras that will be able to deliver high definition content. And we're going to create these stations through HBCU Go where you can log on 24 hours, 7 days a week and watch SWAC sports. So.
Now I played this clip for Maury. Maury told me that the results are in. Now, Maury, I asked thee, what are the results?
All right, you said no, the lie detector determined that's a lie.
Damn, Maury. Damn, Maury. He lying? See, it wasn't even me. It wasn't even me. See, you guys been asking, like, hey, Scotty, is he? It wasn't even, I couldn't even do it anymore. I had to get professional help to ask. So then I said, Maury, before I let you go, Maury, it's one more thing that has really been bogging my mind, right? It's this SWAC classic. I said, it's really been bothering me. I said, he been ducking and dodging and dodging and ducking and dipping and diving. I said, I just need you to listen to this clip, Maury, and see if your lie detector test can pick it up. He said, by all means, Scotty, send it over. I said, okay, I'm going to send it.
It's a long-range plan. 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 It's a long-range plan.
other details or anything moving forward going into the 2020? It's talking about growing and expanding. I remember there was reports about a SWAC Classic football game. Can you fill us in on any other details or anything moving forward going into the 2023 season?
Yeah, the SWAC Classic this year was the Southern FAMU game. We will have one next year, but I think ultimately what you're referencing is the SWAC Classic that we talked about in Birmingham, Alabama. And when that came out, what that report was that the city council approved funding for us to have that game. We have yet to sign that contract. And the schools that were listed were projected schools. They were probable schools. So there have not been contracts that have been signed. What that was us going to the city saying the SWAC has the ability to be able to bring some of its teams. Those teams coming to Birmingham is strictly voluntary. And that's something else that I would like to say. The SWAC can't force a team to do anything from a non-conference standpoint. Even from a conference standpoint, our responsibility is to schedule the games. The schools can rearrange those games. They can move those games. They can't cancel conference games. So the SWAC Classic is just us saying, we have sponsors that want to attach dollars. Why not give those resources directly to the schools? Why don't we create an opportunity for schools to be able to make all of the revenue and not having to share it? But it is 100% the school's choice to participate. And as soon as we have those schools solidified, we will, make that path forward. I have to say again, hats off to Mayor Randall Woodfin here in Birmingham of being able to get that through the city council, getting a stadium to where we can keep 100% of the revenue and distribute it back to the school. So we will have a SWAC Classic. The year before that, it was on the campus of Jackson. Last year it was on the campus of FAMU, and we will keep that going because we think that it is extremely beneficial to our schools from a revenue standpoint.
Now, once again, I sent this over to Maury. And Maury said the results are in.
All right, you said no. The lie detector determined that's a lie.
Now, very simply, you can't trust them, okay? Like, I don't know how many times I got to come on here. I got to go out and hire a Maury, come on here, tell you it's a lie. Because if you want to even go back and just come on, man. Like, if you just go back and listen to what this man just said, he said the FAMU and Southern game was the SWAC Classic this year. Now, I'm new to the space, right? I keep telling y'all that. I'm new to the space, right? But there's one thing that I've noticed. On every schedule, if it says it's a classic, it looks something like this. See that bar right there? Florida Blue, Florida Classic. See that right there? Orange Blossom Classic. See how that works? Every schedule does this. Every schedule does this. When there is a classic being played, they put a bar over top of it and say, hey, this is the classic. Now, how in the hell did FAMU and Southern become a classic? How did it become the SWAC Classic? How? That's when you just making shit up. And if we go to my original point of said SWAC network, so based off your mission, HBCU Go should be pushing all the content towards the platform. Where is that at? Where's that at? I'm just curious. Listen, all I'm here to do for you all is ask the question. That's all I'm here to do is ask the question. Because let me just kind of give you all the chronological order of these things. And you just stop me when I'm wrong. I remember about right before the season started, there was the announcement of the SWAC Classic. Mo from Alabama, Huntsville, went on the news report and said, hey, there's a new classic. And he listed the two teams. Remember, it was 2023 and 2024. 2023 was supposed to be Jackson and UAPB. 2024 was supposed to be Jackson and Southern, right? And everybody was up in arms. Me and Perry did a show about it. Mr. Campbell came on, said, hey, we need to call the Cowboy Classic. All that, right? Now, if you remember, Dr. McNugget jumped on Dr. Cavill's a week later and said, and I quote, that if nobody shows up, that both teams will walk away with $500,000. I say again, he said if nobody came to the game, both schools would walk away with $500,000. And he said if they sold out the game, the schools would split the gate 50-50. Now, I'm not a college graduate, but I do understand lack. And if I'm a school that can show up to a game and get paid $500,000 for nobody showing up, that sounds like good numbers to me. But that's not what I was hearing from my side, right? So then, if you recall, stay with me. He just said, Dr. McNugget just said that this was a voluntary event. We do not force the schools to be a part of the SWAC Classic. Now, why would Jackson State have been sued if it was not a mandatory thing for them to be a part of? Because if Jackson State was smart, they would just say, hey, commissioner, we're not going to do that anymore. We're going to go back to the Southern Heritage Classic and we just going, we're going to renegotiate, blah, 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 whatever, whoop-de-whoop, and we'll just get out that contract instead of being sued. Now, Jackson could probably say, hey, we got Dion. You know what I'm saying? We do what the hell we want to do. That's neither here nor there, but that's possible, right? But if it was a voluntary situation, they could have voluntarily stepped out of it. That's just my opinion, right? If no contracts were signed, why make the announcement? Oh, shit! Sounds like Bethune-Cookman again. Oh, sniggity! Sounds like Ed Reed at Bethune-Cookman. Because I remember people saying the same thing. Why make the announcement, Bethune? Ed Reed ain't signed the contract. So I say again, why make the freaking announcement if the schools did not sign the contract? Okay, folks. Maybe you know what? Man. That's crazy to me. And then the last thing, right, that's so funny to me is that he's literally going to take credit. I want you guys, I'm gonna replay it for you. He's literally going to take credit for FAMU freaking having a home game and keeping their revenue. That's the type of commissioner that you have. That's the type of commissioner that you run behind. That's the type of commissioner that says he can't do nothing wrong. This is the type of commissioner that literally will lie in your face and you say, hey, we got the best commissioner possible. We got the best. He literally on the video said Southern and FAMU was the SWAC Classic and we're happy and able to give them money. What money? What money? What sponsors were there? I would love to know.
Birmingham is strictly voluntary, and that's something else that I would like to say. The SWAC can't force a team to do anything from a non-conference standpoint. Even from a conference standpoint, our responsibility is to schedule the games. The schools can rearrange those games, they can move those games, they can't cancel conference games. So the SWAC Classic is just us saying, we have sponsors that want to attach dollars. Why not give those resources directly?
That's not what you said in the beginning.
All right, you said no. The lie detector determined that's a lie.
That's not what you said in the beginning, sir. You did not say the SWAC Classic was a bunch of sponsorships that you are willing to dish out. It's not what you said. What you said is that the SWAC Classic will be held in Birmingham and that the SWAC Classic will be an event that the city of Birmingham was going to reap because of all the influx of travel. That's what you said. You never said the SWAC Classic was going to be a sponsored event that would move from home to home. That's not what you said.
Directly to the schools. Why don't we create an opportunity for schools to be able to make all of the revenue and not having to share it? But it is 100% the school's choice to participate. And as soon as we have those schools solidified, we will, make that path forward. I have to say again, hats off to Mayor Miranda Woodfin here in Birmingham of being able to get that through the city council, getting a stadium to where we can keep 100% of the revenue and distribute it back to the school. So we will have a SWAC Classic. The year before that, it was on the campus of Jackson. Last year it was on the campus of FAMU, and we will keep that going because we think that it is extremely beneficial to our schools from a revenue standpoint.
It's extremely beneficial to our schools in a revenue standpoint when the school it's already the school's home game. It's already said school's home game. So I'm confused about what revenue are you bringing in? Oh my gosh. Listen, I really wish you guys would stop jumping down my throat as if like I have a personal vendetta against the commissioner. I really don't. I don't know him to have one. But what I will say is that the mere fact that y'all let a lot of these lies slide, and shout out to Jeff Lightly for asking the question, right? I got to give him props for that, for asking the question, because a lot of Bammers wouldn't even ask the question. Because, they try to stay in that good old boy system, you know what I'm saying? So, but, so it goes twofold. It goes twofold, right? It goes one. Are you holding HBCU accountable for the supposedly SWAC network that they're supposed to build? That's a legit question, because you said, sir, that you're not in the business of creating a SWAC network. That's why you partner with ESPN and HBCU Go. But ESPN puts everything they have behind a paywall, and HBCU Go isn't putting up any content. So where's the SWAC network at? Where's the SWAC network at? If you're telling me that that's supposed to be built and coming around, where is it at? Coming to you, Mr. Campbell.
Okay, man. I was minding my business. I'm up here working with my lawyer, trying to get my lies straight because it's Freaknik documentary, and you got me 38 hot. You got me 38 hot. So let me go back, because I got to give, and this is what I know for a fact about the Home Depot thing. I had a classmate who actually was a director at Home Depot. So when they first started the Retool Your School thing, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody was all excited. So people were like, how much money are we getting? Such and such works at Home Depot. Let's find out. Okay. They have a marketing meeting. Here was the question he asked. Because, let's just say FAMU, Jack State, Graham, they're using all these names. He asked them, why are we not paying these schools directly to use their names? We're not even getting a release. And he said, let me ask you all a question. Since we are here in Atlanta in SEC land, if we would use Alabama, Georgia, Florida's name and not pay them, do you think we would have this program? There was dead silence. Dead silence. Because of course not. The SEC would not allow their conference schools' names to be used without getting paid. Point blank, period. Hell, Jackson State acts a fool when I work with the Royal Court talking about what I can do with their name. But we let Home Depot take our names and do a whole marketing campaign with our own names. That's an IP. That's a trademark that they use for free. And they give us a gift card. That's why most of the people at FAMU don't even mess with that. And all the FAMUs know it because he said everybody like, yo, don't mess with that because we getting played. That was years ago. I don't vote for it because I know exactly what. And that came straight from a FAMU's mouth who sat in the meeting with them and he had to leave because he said this is crazy. It makes no sense. Now, the second thing with the HBCU Go thing, here is the constant problem. You have a commissioner that does not ask for things and says, if we're going to do a deal, I need to have this in place. Because you know what the commissioner of the Big Ten Network and SEC Network, it's not that they just arbitrarily throw things up there, right? They know they're going to show the games. But when you see SEC legends, when you see SEC background, when you see coaches, whatever, that's because the SEC said we want our schools to also be featured. Because there's nothing but glorified advertising for the schools. They make sure that content gets done and put on there. ESPN don't say, oh, yeah, we'll just put that on there. The conference says we want this to be featured. So why are we not doing this with HBCU Go? Not just the games. We want this. We want our legends to be featured. We want this. That's all should be part of the deal. But once again, we take 2 cents when we should be getting $1. And this has been my problem from the get-go. And then to your fact with Maury, me and you got slammed by that same dude. Talking about we didn't know each other, Cowboy Classic. And I told you on your show that that was never going to happen.
You said it.
Because that made no sense.
You said it.
Did we not say that, me and you?
Yeah, you said it. You said doing the numbers, it don't make sense.
It doesn't make any sense. So then guess what? When the people from Southern, Jackson, FAMU say, oh, guess what? We ain't coming because that doesn't make any sense. We'll figure this out and have home and homes like everybody did. And then guess what? Oh, well, you know, we thought whatever. That is not a good look. And this is what makes people upset. This is what makes HBCU alumni look upset. This is what makes when outside people come in and say, you guys look inept. Because this man got a whole doctorate. He ain't no dummy. That man got a whole doctorate, bro. And you're getting on platforms where people can fact check you in less than 30 seconds. That is not good. That is not good leadership. And McClellan's from Jackson. I want him to succeed. I actually know his people. I want that man to be great. I want all our schools to be great. But when I'm sitting back here with the Retool Your School, we get played. With the HBCU Go, we don't ask for the amount of things that the other conferences are doing. That's what I'm saying. You don't have to recreate the wheel. Just copy the wheel. And then last but not least, you go and make this big grant that we have in this HBCU Classic. We're going to get all this money. And then people say, what's up? Well, you know, schools, and, you know, they kind of figure that out and whatever. But you said it. We didn't know anything about no SWAC Classic, did we? Until he said it.
Yep.
Because I tell you what, it was news to Jackson State and Southern people when they were like, we playing at Birmingham. For what? Shit. Last I know, Jackson is in Mississippi and Southern is in Louisiana. Why are we going to Birmingham? So that was brand new for all those people that lived in those 2 states and support those schools. So that to me, man, is why you got to sit back and just do a dead stop and get your messaging together and start over from square one and just say, because see what we want from a conference, we want to be promoted, right?
Yep.
We want to get good financial sponsorship deals. And we want to grow the brand. That's his job. Matter of fact, I read his job description because I pulled it. Remember that?
Yep.
That's part of his job description. So it's not me talking, it's not you talking. That's in your job description. And each time we look at the bullet points, it's either a C- or a D on what we see from the outside. Now, if he wants to say something different, then you know what? He want to shut me and you up? Then show me the $120 million HBCU goes supposed to be giving us.
Facts.
Show me that check. I should listen. Because if we get $120 million, then you know what? We got the best secondary deal than anybody in any FCS conference. But guess what? We know that ain't what it is. Because that deal is based off of metrics that probably we will never hit, and we probably getting $80,000 in school. Because I'll tell you one thing, damn, you ain't around here bragging about talking they got $1 million check. Grambling ain't bragging about they got $1 million check. Because if they were getting $1 million check, guess what? Somebody would tell it.
Quickly.
Too many people. Quick, bro. Oh, no, we got our HBCU go check. We about to buy some new helmets with this money. We can't even afford helmets if Bethune-Cookman. So you know damn well they get $1 million. Come on, man. This is frustrating. When I sit back and you do this, and then people get mad at you, talking about you hating. This is not hate. This is accountability. There's a difference. People want accountability. And if you don't like us challenging you, then don't sit in that seat.
Facts.
Because I'm going to tell you one thing. As a person that's sitting in the seat, brother, it costs to be the boss.
It costs to be the boss. That's what they say.
Period. Point blank, period. So if you can't handle that, don't get mad at me and you say, well, who are you? I'm going to tell you who I am. Somebody that supports every one of these schools indirectly or directly. Somebody that's raising $100,000 for FAMU right now. That's who I am. I ain't nobody big, but I'm Steve Campbell. And I care about FAMU. I care about Jack State. I care about Grambling. Because that's who did business with me. So I want those schools to be successful. I want Valley to be successful. So that's my thing. That's who we are. So I want him to hear that. Because this backtracking and all that. So bottom line is that Home Depot has always been trash because they got $1 billion database for free that the SEC would charge $3 billion for. We got HBCU Go that should be promoting the schools that has not gone dead silence. And then we got this man saying, oh, well, the SWAC Classic was going to happen, but it didn't happen. Man, bye. Talk to y'all later.
Hey, appreciate the call, Mr. Campbell. Hey, he preaching. 4648 coming to you. Hey, calling you live.
My man Scott, hey, man. Hey, you hitting them on the head today. I don't know why you ain't giving them a break. I just want to call in and touch on three things, really. This Tank, by the way. From what you've been bringing up, Scotty, it's some things that came up. In the interview, Dr. McNuggets, the SWAC commissioner said he wanted to get the games on TV. Well, what that shows is he did not have an understanding, and maybe not just him, maybe other people. He doesn't have an understanding of the future of streaming. He didn't understand it then, and he may not understand now that, yeah, getting stuff on TV is good. But most of your games on ESPN Plus, in which they are quote unquote streaming, using your students, your facilities, your technology at your school to stream the games. The second part is he showed an inability to negotiate with Prime. He had Prime on his coaching roster, and as you brought up before, managed to get $60,000 per school. That's terrible. But then this is a non-profit organization, and so some people need to take a step back and realize, like, not only with a non-profit organization, he can't carry a balance over after July 1st, but he has to find a way to secure revenue that's going to keep coming in every year. So every year he should secure a streamline of every revenue based on games, based on basketball, track, so on and so forth. Otherwise, the nonprofit organization, which predominantly operates off of donations, will go defunct. And so we need to realize that how he negotiates his contracts with his nonprofit will ultimately affect the CIAA's negotiation, the MEAC negotiation, the SIAC negotiation, because these institutions, these companies didn't have a Prime, and they still only got $60,000 on the contract. I don't know what you're talking about, but hey, Scotty, thanks as always, man. Keep it up, brother.
Hey, appreciate the call, right? There's some meat in there that he's talking about, right? And let's break that down, because Listen, I know I talk a lot about contracts and money and deals and things like that, but you got to understand half the battle is knowing, right? You know, they always say you know what you don't know. You know, if you can know what you don't know, that's half the battle, right? So for me, when you're talking about partnering with HBCU Go, and Jamie could probably help me with this because I know the SAIC just signed a deal with the BCSN, the Black College Sport Network, right? But it was only for basketball, tennis, and some other ancillary sports. I do believe that it's either the CIAA or the SAIC signed a new contract. I think they signed their football deal with HBCU Go, if I'm not mistaken, right? So even the Division II split up their secondary deal, right? Think about that, right? Come on. I need y'all to understand what I'm saying. At the Division II level, they split up football and the non-revenue sports. They split that up. So I don't know how much they're getting. I want to be very clear because, you know, they don't give out no names for that. But they still had the foresight to split it. Hey, we're going to give you football because we know that's this, and we're going to give you our non-revenue. The SWAC didn't even do that, right? The SWAC didn't even do that. A secondary deal is this, right? The SAIC and the CIAA have a primary deal with ESPN. That's why you see their stuff on ESPN+. They have the first right to their games. Anything after that is a secondary deal, right? So it's like this. It's like if we use it like biblical terms, right? If you're the firstborn, you get everything that your parents lay out to you, right? The secondborn, right? The secondborn gets the leftovers, right? That's pretty much what these media deals are. You have a firstborn and you got a secondborn. The firstborn is ESPN in most of these contracts. They're the firstborn. They get whatever they want, right? And whatever's left over goes to the secondborn. That's secondary deal, primary deal. All right. I hope you kind of get an understanding based off that. Hope I, broke it down to a smaller thing, right? So this is my issue with the SWAC. Is that at some point in time, if the HBCU Go was supposed to be the SWAC network, it should have been hand in hand a walking process of what that looks like, right? If that means that, because guys, like, you got to listen to what I'm about to tell you. Please, please, please listen very closely to what I'm about to say to you. HBCU Go has great production, right? I can't take nothing away from that, okay? I can't take anything away from that. But understand, if HBCU Go made a disclaimer and said, hey, all non-primetime games will be streamed by the school. Listen, Linda, right? Think about this. If they made a disclaimer and said, hey, all non-primetime games will be streamed by the school, what is any different than ESPN Plus? What's the difference? That's what ESPN Plus uses. It's the exact same thing. So HBCU Go does not have the infrastructure to be at every single game and promote every single game, right? They can't give you high-level production. So what they have to do is use it as a Monday Night Football. HBCU Go is Monday Night Football, right? They put all their stuff in one basket, and then they give it to you, right? So it could be Jackson versus Southern. They there, right? HBCU Go, boom. Everything else goes to the wayside. You see what I'm saying? So there should have been a better rollout of this, right? Of understanding what it was going to look like, what it was going to be, that they should have built. I mean, it's so many ways they could have done this thing, man. It just really boggles my mind, and it really bothers me because there's no sense of, and the biggest issue to me is there's no sense of pride, right? There's no sense of ownership of like, you have it from individual alums, but you don't have it to the higher ups. You don't have it from the presidents. You don't have it from the ADs. You don't have it from the commissioner. You don't have that sense of pride and that sense of like, our stuff should be this. Our stuff should look like this. It should be structured like this. It should be given to our people like this. I want it to be as close as this as possible. It's none of that, right? Because you can give a great product without being ESPN, right? You can give a great product without being CBS, right? Because at the end of the day, you know people are going to watch it. Why? Because we go to ESPN Plus to watch it. So that's neither here nor there. At the end of the day, man, all I'm hoping is that at the end of the day, you guys are seeing it for what it is. You're taking it and you're coming with your own opinion about it. You're coming with your own opinion about it of saying, why does this look the way it does? Why does it feel the way it feels? Or why isn't it not this? Or why do we not have, and I'm going to say this and I'm going to end it right here. If it's one thing the commissioner should be doing is trying to build an HBCU network, right? I don't give a damn if it's on YouTube. I don't give a damn if it's wherever you think you want to place it at, but there should be some talks and communication of building an HBCU sports network. It has to be in the conversation because you're coming together to do NIL deals. That is a short-term answer to a long-term issue of content not being able to be accessible. NIL deals are a short-term fix for anything. The long-term fix is how do we continue to give access to the people that are looking for our content? Where can people go consistently and know, hey, Monday, there are going to be all the replays of Saturday's game. That is what people are willing to pay for and willing to go find. So that's my time. Hey, listen, guys, man, I appreciate it. Jamie, we got to talk. You already know what it's about. Hit me up in Twitter or call me after I get off this live or text me, whatever. You got some free time. You already know what it's about. Just to double check on that schedule of the D2 games, all right? But listen, that's been my time, folks. Appreciate you. I'm going to try to keep the content coming. You already told you I'm back for good. So listen, until next time, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to holler. God bless. Like I said, I got a lot of things coming down the pipe. Got a show with me and Perry coming up soon. Be on the lookout for that. It will be on Mondays, all right? Also, got some, hold on. Hey, caller, you live.
Hey, what's going on, Scotty?
What's up, Joe?
I got a quick question.
Talk to me.
What's happening, babe? I think the problem is with the swag is they got to get all the old folks out, man. I just want you to give me an estimate. How many people in the HBCU land when they got the ESPN Plus? How many things? This is a rough number.
A lot. Millions. Because I say at least a million. I say at least a million too. Because I think Dion opened that. I think Dion opened it up into non-HBCU people. But yeah, definitely millions. Definitely millions.
Okay, so that just say 500,000.
Okay.
All Swag has to do is everybody got Roku TVs in their house, right?
Facts.
All right, they can get them a Roku channel, 12 channels for each school. Nigga charge $5.99. And how they can bring people into it is by showing $5.99. Let me get my calculator out. I ain't good at math. That's a lot of money. $5.99. Hold on. 5.99. 500,000. I ain't supposed to be texting and driving. That's almost $3 million. $3 million a month.
But I look at it like this, Joe. You can even let's break it down even because I like to do small numbers, right? Because I don't ever like to do big numbers because at the end of the day, you're like, just say 10,000. You know, like if
10,
just
000.
you know what I'm saying, 10,000. Because why I say 10,000? Because some YouTubers get that on a bad day. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like 10,000 is a very accomplishable number, especially when you're talking about some of the big boys. A&M just got 3,000 people to watch their spring game on YouTube.
Okay. So $10,000 times $6 a month.
60,000,
right? Am I math right?
It should be 60,000.
60,000 a month.
60,000 a month.
60,000 a month. That's all they gotta do, man. Get their own goddamn Roku channel and let it go for that 1 year. After that first year, then they can look at the data and all that shit, whatever, all that stuff. And then they can start getting sponsors. And people can start advertising. They don't need HBCU Go. They don't need HBCU Live. They can do it their own and where they can get all the money. Simple, man.
Simple. Hey,
but they got to get all them old folks out, bro.
Got to. Appreciate the call, Joe. I like that idea. I still think you got to partner with somebody because you can't. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot of infrastructure. I can't lie. I'm not going to sit here and just act like it's you can't, like, no. You're going to have to partner with somebody, okay? So if you partner with HBCU Go, some type of revenue split should have been had. I do not believe that SWAC should have sold their stuff to HBCU Go. I think they should have partnered. Smash, coming to you.
Man, Scott, it was crazy is when you talk about them starting a network, I'm watching how like the media ship is changing here in Louisiana since LSU done won its championship. I'm talking about I didn't watch like 3 or 4 podcasts or on 2 of them. One of them interviewed with one of the girls. It was like, if you need some NIL opportunities, you can come straight to us. And it was a partner of one of the LSU networks for sports. So what I'm saying is like he talking about we trying to get NIL deals for the people. If you started them a proper network, the network can generate so many funds where you can start offering them to the athletes on your own and you keep everything in-house. And that could just be something, a recruitment tool for players to come to the SWAC. You know what I'm saying? Another thing, and I'm just
No, go ahead. I agree with you.
And another thing is, once again, all these YouTubers that like, you know what I'm saying? I joked about it the other day. Said I don't see as much content coming out as when Dion was coming because it's gonna die off. But if the SWAC was smart, they would get all you guys, man, and put some money in y'all pockets to create a social media network where your show could broadcast, or another guy's show could broadcast, and just pay y'all, and it'd be cheaper to pay people who are already doing it and have followings and create a network than to go out and try to start one of your own and be starting from scratch. Embrace the people who are already doing it, because let's not act like they don't watch our channels already.
You know what I'm saying?
But you branding players like Andrew Body. So why not bring all y'all together, cut y'all a check, grant y'all access to stuff that y'all already gonna be at anyway, and create a network of the people that's already here.
Listen, Smash, and I said this, and I'm glad you called, man. I want to keep you on. I'm glad you called because me and Perry had this conversation, and he was talking about, can we get out? Can we overplay? What's it like? Boy, like, when you like something gets like overdone, like you just keep, overdoing it. Yeah, oversaturated. Can the HBCU football get oversaturated? And I told Perry this. I said, does the SEC ever get tired about talking about the SEC? Never. They never get, like, dude, there's so many people that talk about the SEC. Why? Because of the information that is being pushed out by the schools. There's nothing that is hidden from SEC schools to bloggers, to reporters, to everything. But in the SWAC network, it's always through a grapevine. It's always through, I heard this from an alum who's close to the program. I heard this from this person. I heard this from this person. It's always so secretive. And that's what's so irritating, because if it was more of an open book and an open free source to getting information, we would have a lot more content, right? So the problem is
it's even to the point where, like, I know I call my partner, I don't call his name, but you know who he is. Like at my school, you know what I'm saying? Like guy has top of the line talent. It's like he taught me everything. I'm told, you know, I'm cocky. I shoot that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And wouldn't even hire him to do stuff for athletics. And you got a gym right there in your backyard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's the school. So let alone the swag bros, like they try to deny us access. As soon as we go give our talent to somebody else,
we sell out.
Now is a problem. Or we get shaded. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm dealing with that right now. You know what I'm saying? Well, like I go to schools who people don't even think about filming or giving them content. But as soon as I put it out there and I'm getting thousands of views, now like, damn, why you don't come support us? Like, because I mean, you treat us like we're not one of y'all. You know what I'm saying? I know me. I know my talent. So like, they just need to embrace what we already have. People like y'all, people like you and Blue, and give y'all a budget. What could you do with a travel budget? Let's just say, let's be nice and say a travel budget.
I probably
or access.
I would have gone to. I probably would have gone to every spring training camp and done, you know, and just talk to the programs and things like that. You know what I'm saying? There's so much content. Like, see, what happens is people think there's no content because there's nothing to talk about. There's always something to talk about in football. It's always something to talk about. New coaches coming in, new schemes, new players, new recruitment. You know, last year, how are you going to change? How are you? All those type of things. But when everybody is, the thing with Deion did, which I was talking to Perry, the thing I love what Deion did is Deion didn't have a problem speaking out about what he had because he didn't care about the target. Everybody in the SWAC is scared about being the target, right? You're never going to hear Willie Simmons say, hey, man, I'm loaded. I like what I got underneath the Christmas tree. Why? Because it adds a target to his back. You're never going to hear Dooley say, oh, I love my quarterbacks. I love my skill positions. Hey, I think we got the best DB. You're never going to hear anybody say that. Why? Because they're scared of putting the target on their back. So everybody goes silent like it's dark 12:30, zero dark 30, and everybody wants to play the humble role, right? Okay, that's cool. But then when you also don't have any information being pushed out to anybody unless you're an insider, right? Then it's like, bro, what are we doing? So it's like, okay, I would love to know what's going on at Texas Southern. Well, I got to talk to players that I know to get information. I would love to talk to Bethune-Cookman. I got to talk to players that I know for the information. I would love to know what's going on at Alabama State. I got to talk to alums who are cool with the players to you get what I'm saying? Like it's just so much runaround to get the information of what's going on in the sport. It's ridiculous. And that's the difference between a SEC program, which has nothing but insider after insider and reporter after reporter, than a SWAC school where you're probably hearing it from an alum or a player or a disgruntled player. You know what I'm saying? I'll get one side of the story. I can't get the other side because the coaches are too weak to talk to me because they're like, oh, Scotty, we don't like what you do and all this type of crap. You know what I'm saying? So it's
got it.
It's just ridiculous, bro.
I definitely, one thing I'm interested in seeing this season, and I'm seeing it now, is just I can't wait to see it when the season really comes, is how the lack thereof is going to be. Like, people like me that's always on the sideline. I mean, I'm at a game, I'm going to Jackson Spring game this Saturday just to go. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. The same place I've been the last 5, 6, 7 years since I've been doing this. How many people is not going to be there now? You know what I'm saying? That's... Like the hype. Let's see these random Dion walks to the bus ass video. You know, let's see Coach Willis, Dooley walks to the bus video or some type shit. It's gonna be so many people that was here just because of Dion and Coach Prime, which that's what I loved about what he brought. He brought a light that we just didn't have, and I can't knock him for nothing he did. But at the same time, I got to give his props what he did do. It's gonna be so many people that's not on the SWAC dick this year, and it's gonna die out so fast, bro. And then I'm gonna be like, now what? You supposed to have people still like Scotty doing this show, and we're gonna see how many people have interest in it because it's sad. But that's my time, Scotty. I don't want to keep you going.
Nah, you good, bro. Appreciate the call, Smash. But let me tell you, like, what would mean everything to me if I'm being a whole buck? It would mean everything to me that I could talk D2, MEAC, SWAC, if I could make this channel complete coverage of if I could have a Jamie Walker on here talking D2, if I could have somebody from North Carolina A&T, if I could have somebody from the MEAC, if we could have powwows consistently, like just a full 24/7 coverage of HBCU football. Why not? How do you think these white conglomerates and these how do you think On 3 is? How do you think On 3 started or 247? All they do, or SEC Network or SEC this or SEC that, all they do is talk about what they do consistently, right? That's all they do is just a recycle amount of content. If you add the Division II schools in, and if you add the MEAC, if you add all these HBCUs that are in different pockets, you have enough content to simply just keep pushing it. Just keep pushing it and keep recycling it. If you don't want to hear about D2, then don't tune in to Jamie Walker from 7 and 8:30 talking about D2. If you don't want to hear about the CIAA, don't tune into this brother at 6 to 7 talking. That's what it's about, and it should be good enough for everybody. The SEC, how do you think all Paul Feinbaum does is talk about the SEC? He has literally built his name off SEC football. That is it. That is it. Right? So it's just like, if the schools don't believe in the content, if the schools don't believe in the information and to get the information out and partnering with different people to make it work, and not, listen, you think Alabama loves the way Paul Feinbaum talks about them? Do you think Auburn always loves the way Paul Feinbaum talks about them? Do you think Arkansas? Do you think Mizzou? Do you think they love what Paul Feinbaum talks bad about them? No, but it's a part of the game. It's a part of the game. You have to learn how to play it. And I keep telling y'all, these coaches do not understand how media works. That's why they can never go Power 5. It's not because of the acumen. They're smart enough with the best of them. They can't take criticism. Do you think any of these black coaches would survive at a white institution when they lose? And all they hear on Twitter and on YouTube and on radio about how dumb this was, how dumb that was. Why did we hire him? He's bad. Go back to HBCU. He's beyond. That's all you would hear. But when you do it in the HBCU community, it's bashing. When you do it at the white schools, it's criticism. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you have to understand how the game is played and understand you have to play the game. It's frustrating. That I'll just say that it's frustrating. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's frustrating that because of people's lack of wanting to change, right? The people lack of doing this and that. That you don't see the push, right? You don't see the push to get there and the push to do things, the push to make it happen. It's those days, right? It's that. It's not. It's telling me It's telling the people I'm not gonna show our spring game. Who cares? Like you don't have fans. I'm not gonna show the spring game. Who cares? It's that mentality. It's that mindset that already puts you behind the 8 ball. You should feel that everything you do should be worth being uploaded. I'm sorry, man. It just bothers me, man. It really does, man. It really absolutely does. But when your institution already has the mindset of, I'm not putting that on. Why? Nobody cares. Or I'm not showing that. Or why waste the time to? It's like, so you don't have no fans that want to watch? Nobody? Just because you don't want to or you don't want to do the work, that means nobody wants to watch it? Okay. You know what I'm saying? It's that type of stuff. It's that stuff for me. But and granted, and Blue, granted, a lot of people don't have the schedules that we have. A lot of these people have regular jobs, so they can't shift and move. Like, and me, now that I got my kids, I can't even shift and move like I want to. My tailgate schedule has gotten real conglomerative, real condensed, because I can't be traveling 6-7 hours with kids. It's a little different. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you can call in, DJ. You'll be the last caller. Exactly. And then they get mad when people who aren't certified, right? People who aren't certified or who aren't legal, legit, they're selling merch. You're going to get mad at the people who illegal doing it because you don't want to spend the time to either partner with somebody who does it legitly or be creative to. Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. Well, I'm HBCU League Pass technically, so they, they sent me down. You know what I'm saying? So HBCU League Pass sent me down there. So don't come for me. Don't come for us. All right. They sent me down there. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to HBCU League Pass for sending me down there. But HBCU Go and game day, where y'all Bama's at? That's the real question. Hey, DJ, hurry up, bro. That's good. That's good. That's good, Oz. That's a good one, Oz. Oz says they don't feel the need to keep their fan base engaged. Wonder why they don't get as much money as they want. That's real. That's real, Oz. DJ, you better go. I was about to say. I was about to hang it up, DJ. I was waiting for you. Go ahead, man.
Nah, don't do me that, bro. Don't do me that. I just want to say something real quick. There was a show yesterday. It was an alumni telling a certain individual, hey, we like to see stuff because, hey, we live out of town. We're not in the local area of our institution anymore. So we would love to see content. It don't matter what it is. It could be the cheerleaders. It could be the band. It could be the dancers. The host told the guy that it's not even worth putting on, then got mad when I said, no, that's wrong. The alumni is telling you exactly what's missing. So I'm the problem child for a lot. I don't mind being that. But what you're speaking the truth is facts. And I just wanted to say that. I didn't want to hold you up.
No, you're good. I look at it like this, right? If you don't see the value in what y'all doing, why are you asking people to invest?
That's what I bring up with two people, and that's why I'm the problem child. So that's why I choose to stay out of everybody's way.
Okay. I mean, like I said, everybody does their thing a little differently. But to me, I look at it like this. If it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, you can't say, oh, nobody wants to watch cheerleading. But clearly you giving out scholarships. Clearly Texas Southern just won the national collegiate championship as an HBCU. Right. You know, like, it's little things like that. You know, Smash just did a video with Xavier's cheerleaders for Fenty. Like, let's not act like our culture doesn't make shifts, right? Like the softball stuff from FAMU going viral. Or it's little things like that you're just like, what do you mean people don't care about it? Just because you, like, even with me in tennis, like, there's people that care about tennis. I just don't care about tennis. But I can't act like my opinion supersedes everybody else's to say that nobody's going to watch tennis when you got black girls making millions of dollars playing tennis.
Facts, but also, too, the catch-22 to your statement is, aren't we already paying them to put out content?
Who are we paying?
They're already different schools have their own media department.
That's true.
So they're getting paid to help market, help get sponsors, but also put out content that'll make a student or alumni stay engaged with the institution, right?
Absolutely.
But they're not doing that, but then get mad when we call them on it.
That's fair.
And I mean, they're getting paid. It is a check.
Well,
if one of them missing a check, they haven't reported it.
Well, they'll say this, right? If you like, okay, I'll give you a good example. Josh from FAMU, he's the SID. Now, his job description, he does the content, he does the posters, he does the flyers, he does all that, right? But maybe the guy from Bethune-Cookman, he's not asked to do the same. Maybe he's just asked to put the stats out and put the information out, but not really push the content. You get what I'm saying? Or like video and all that type of stuff. Maybe he's not asked to do that. So it could be one, your job description of, hey, they only asked me to push out the stats and the information about who won and lost. It's not content creation. You know what I'm saying? So that's another aspect we have. Like, do I think the new guy, I like the new media director at Jackson State. Do I think that he's gone away from what Dion and Bucky did well? Yes. Did he have to do it exactly like Dion? No, but you saw that content was different. It was raw, it was real, and it was good. People like that, right? So I still think there's a part of that should have been kept and just tweaked in a different way. That, you know what I'm saying? Or you just kept it and just say, hey, let's roll with it. It's a lot easier. We don't gotta chop up a lot of stuff or whatever. It could have been the turning point to TC or whatever you want to call it, or the road to the how to guard the yard. It could have been called how to guard the yard, and you just do a whole spring series of following TC Taylor around. You get what I'm saying? So it's just ideas like that you're just like, you know, I think you're trying to do too much. Like everything's trying to be cinematic and all that type of stuff. And it's like, okay, cool. But then you got schools like Alabama A&M that don't do barely anything. Like they do, like you got you got the AD doing a lot of talking, but you're not seeing the content from Maynard, from Mai, from the players, from Xavier, from the name brand guys you want to hear from. You're not seeing that, right? So it's just a lot of different things that I like. Like I like what Valley is doing. I think Valley is doing a great job. Like, so it's a lot of schools that are doing great jobs that, you know, that they're trying to change it up and be more innovative. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, but I think that needs to go across the SWAC. UAPB needs to be on this bandwagon, right? Prairie View needs to be on this bandwagon. Alabama State needs to. They should have had a whole. I'm so serious. They should have done a whole series with Eddie Robb. He is right. I would have made it a whole game show. You know what I'm saying? Everything Eddie Robb talks about, he would have been like, he is right. You know what I'm saying? Even when he's wrong, he's still right. I would have made it a whole thing, right? So he'd be like, you know what? You know, Pepsi gives you wings, not just Red Bull. And they'd be like, Coach Robb, that's wrong. I'm always right. You know what I'm saying? Like that would have been his line. Like, I'm always right. You know what I'm saying? So it just, like, you could have really had fun with it. So it's just a lack of creativity for me.
Right, but that also shows that they're not either speaking to the students now / alumni, or it's not a combination of the two. Yeah.
It's hard to get people to see value in something they don't see value in, right? It's hard for it's like somebody. It's like a coin collector and a regular person, right? A coin collector would see a mint condition penny. A regular person just sees a penny that's worth 1 cent. You see what I'm saying? I can't make you see value.
That's also the peanuts. That's why we keep getting peanuts.
Yeah. Well, sooner or later, something's got to change, and I hope it does. But hey, DJ, man, I appreciate the call, bro.
All right.
Hey, man, DJ got me. He got me hyped. I love that, Kevin. It's vision. It's having the vision for it. It's absolutely having the vision for it. And it's It's having fun with narratives, right? It's having fun with narratives, right? If I'm A&M, I keep telling y'all, Connell Maynard should be riding the hell out that pink scooter. It's great content. It's great content, right? It's like, you know, riding with Maynard and he just go around the facility with the scooter. It's great content. It's funny. It's engaging. You're going to get people from Jackson to watch it just because they know who gave him the scooter. You know what I'm saying? And then you will have people from A&M like Maynard talking his mess even with the scooter. You know what I'm saying? It's stuff like that. It's entertainment, and nobody is selling the entertainment aspect of HBCU football, and it's there. I'm telling you guys, it's there. What's up, Mr. Bugs? Talk to me.
Scotty, how you doing, brother? Doing all right, man?
I'm doing all right. Talk to me.
Man, forgive me, brother, for my voice now. Look, the weather today, man, got an allergy attack, but I'll be all right. I need to ask a quick question for you, big dog.
Yeah.
And help me understand what's going down. It's to be that around this money piece, the ineptitude when it comes to HBCUs, brother, is really loud. And so I'm trying to figure out what seems to be the understanding, because we have doctors, you know, the Dr. Big Nugget.
Yep.
He's just what you call him. He's the one that's actually spearheading this whole thing. How are these so-called doctors not know how to negotiate, number one? Number two, put a team around them so I know how to market. Number three, begin to really market the great product of HBCUs, brother. Help me understand how the buffoonery is so loud when it comes to HBCUs. Help me, brother. Holla at me.
I think it's loud because of the simple missteps. It's right. It's the simple missteps that you just like, how did you miss that? Right. Because it's when you start putting doctors like, you know, my mom always used to say, just because you're a doctor in one thing doesn't make you a doctor in another. Right. So you could be a doctor in education, but I wouldn't ask you to be a surgeon. You know what I'm saying? So just because you have that title at the end of your name doesn't make you an all-knowing person. But at the end of the day, what my grandfather used to say is, I will always respect somebody who knows what they don't know. Right. And I think the missteps of people putting their foot in places that they do not understand where they're stepping into is probably the biggest downfall of HBCUs, right? Is that you're putting a commissioner in a position because he was a former athletic director of a school to say, hey, now I think you can run the conference. And now when there's conference issues that you do not understand, you have not put people around you to help you in that area, i.e., right? Apple. I use this example all the time with Steve Jobs. He always said, I'm putting the best people in the room so they can tell me what right is.
Exactly. So I'm trying to figure out, again, all these black titans, the Michael Jordans, the Bob Johnsons, the Sean Puffy Combs, I can go down the list, the Shaquille O'Neals. There's no consultation with people that look like us to say, okay, guys, we're seeing what the SEC network is doing. We're seeing what the ACC network is doing. We want to have a SWAC or a MEAC network to where we can begin to grow a product for us. Hey guys, how do you guys think we should get this accomplished? Can you kind of with us? It seems like there's a lack of humbleness to say, I need some help. It's more of, I know what I'm doing, and then when it comes to them actually doing something, they suck at it. Like, this is really laughable, Doc. This gives me no confidence to have any of my children to go to a product like this, because I expect excellence, because money is exchanging hands, right? And there's no excellence coming back. So you want my money, but when it comes to me wanting excellence, I'm getting subpartness. I'm going to go ahead and say it, suck-assness. And so my thing is, when are we going to begin to hold these fools accountable to say, until you begin to really hone your craft, I'm not going to send my dollars to you via my kids going to your schools. Holler at your partner. Am I spot on or am I off?
I think you're off in a sense of, I think two things can be true, right? One can be that there is a lack of humbleness. There's a lack of accountability, right? But then that doesn't deflate the school's education aspect, because there are people being put in position to help the said school for what they need help with, right? So you're teaching people outside of business. Let's take that. You know what I'm saying? You're teaching people to be in rooms that then can turn around and help you get in the room that you're trying to get into. So
there you go.
But you're not allowing them, nor are you willing to pay them. And let's be real. I'm not going to say that I can't speak for people's dollars, but I'll say that most alums won't charge you full price to do what they would do for a white school. That's just not how they get down, because they have the honor to say, hey, I helped my school do this. You know what I'm saying? Even though they pay me for my time, I still have a pride because they came to me. I did this for them and those things. So do I think that there is a lack of accountability in HBCU arenas? Absolutely. Do I believe there's a lack of humbleness like you spoke of? Absolutely. But I cannot take away the excellence of education, because of the simple fact is there's people in rooms at this very moment that were taught by an HBCU that would love to give back to their HBCU, but the lack of accountability and the humbleness does not allow them to be, from the administration, does not allow them to come in and proceed, because it's just not there.
Well, thank you for the correction. You have more of an experience than I do when it comes from the educational standpoint. So that one, hand clap of praise for that. Thank you for the correction. My whole criticism is just on the business side, because if the educational platform is excellent, my criticism is, why can't the business side also be excellent, so that the two can become one, so that we can, so that there could be a really big choice. Okay, if I'm an athlete, because I play college basketball, saying, okay, man, you know, I'm getting recruited by Florida State or UNC, but man, Howard got it going on, man, Jackson State got it going on, Bethune-Cookman got it going on, and they got a social media platform that's killing it as well. I can actually make more of an NIL play on this side, because the social media business side at Howard, Jackson State, and Bethune-Cookman are so good. It rivals the HCC and the UNC and Florida State, and also it's with my folk, my people. That's my whole criticism, if that makes some sense. I
look at it like this, Mr. B, and you're in real estate, and we talk about this all the time. And and you say there's so many ways to make money in real estate, and you brought up the example of Mr. 10X, and you say he does Class A buildings, right? And there's people who do Class C buildings and make just as much money. And I think that's how you have to look at HBCUs, right? That the power conferences are Class A buildings. They're always going to do what they do. But you have to find a way to make money in a different way that fits you. I can't do what Class A buildings do. Why? Because I'm not in Class A arenas. I'm not in those neighborhoods. But how can I make money being in the area that I'm at and still be a product? Because there's enough kids to go around. Florida State can't get them all. Miami can't get them all. Alabama can't get them all. So there's always going to be talent. It's how do I capitalize with the kids that come to me and give them an experience that they would never have had if they would have went to Florida State, because I can't compete with Florida State in the sense of athletics, facilities, and all that. I'll drive myself ragged. But there's a reason Florida State black kids come to FAMU. You get what I'm saying? There's a reason for that. There's a reason why Ole Miss kids go to Jackson. The black kids come to Jackson. There's a reason why LSU goes to Southern. There's a reason for that. So if we can capitalize on that reason and make money off that, then we have a model.
Brother, man, love the phone call, love the content. Thanks for the educational portion of this, man. Keep doing what you do. And when it comes to our discussions behind the scenes, we coming.
We coming.
It's coming,
We
y'all.
coming.
All right, y'all. God bless you, man. Thanks for your time.
I appreciate that, Mr. Bucks. 5200 coming to you. Hey, caller, you live.
Scotty, how you doing? This is Jamie Walker, man. What's going on?
What's up, Mr. Walker? Talk to me.
Man, I had to call in, man. Just for everything. First of all, we're gonna get that schedule hooked up and get everything together.
Appreciate you.
But secondly, man, understanding that, and I did a little research in myself when we started talking about media rights and things of that nature, because I'm an announcer by nature. So content creation is not my bag. You know what I do as far as announcing these games and making sure they're broadcasting and things of that nature. But understanding that these commissioners really fall under the same umbrella. Most of them are not media people. Most of them are NCAA compliance people. And so when you're talking about the ways you're thinking about innovation when it comes to a conference, they don't have that ability. Some put down their pride to go see these people to make sure that they're going in the way media is moving to, but some of them will not. And so when you're talking about the forward thinking that you're doing, the pressure actually needs to be put on these college presidents. Because when you're talking about who keeps putting these people in place, it's the college president.
Absolutely.
And when they simply want to keep the bottom line what it is. Hey, can I go see the game? Can I do this, do that? That's all. And I understand that they have, education to be concerned about more than anything, but you can use athletics as the door to do everything correctly when it comes to academics.
Absolutely.
You can attract different people to your schools, and some embrace it better than others. Some do not. So when it comes to this whole marketing deal, there are just college presidents that have not embraced this new media yet. And until that happens, it's going to remain the same.
Jamie, while you were talking, what came to my mind was the simple fact of, like, it's kind of like, I remember when my mom used to listen to jazz in the car, right? And she would say, and I would be like, Mom, why you listening to this? Like, you ain't got no words, right? And she said, you will understand it when you get older. But I think in this sense, I think it's a reverse situation, right? That people have aged out of the system, and there's a new wave of media coming, and they just don't understand it. Like, that's the thing for me, that what you grew up in was the standard. Ticket sales, coming to the game, hopefully being on channel 5, channel 8, channel 10, or whatever. Now with the media and the internet pushing it's coming so fast, like BET, and you see all these linear channels like filing for bankruptcy because it's coming so fast that people are just like, yo, I'll cut the cable bill and we just out here, we'll be on Hulu for the rest of our life. You know what I'm saying? So just the internet wave is coming so fast with media that people just don't understand it. And you have to have people in position to tell you what right looks like, to say, hey, this is where it's going, and this is where you need to be. And you need to be on this side of the mountain than the other side.
Absolutely, man. And I think, when you did the expose on the Dell State kid, that was telling, because anytime you don't want somebody, we wouldn't be on your platform if we didn't love our schools.
Facts.
I mean, all of us, like, across the line. So when you have somebody like that that's willing to do that legwork, man, you don't have to give them too much. Just give them the access.
That's it.
And at the very end of the day, they'll do what you need to do. They'll even go by your standards. Because I understand you don't want to give somebody full board or just put whatever they want on the internet. You do have to, paint a picture of what your school is. You just can't go willy-nilly.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you have people that love their institutions. Let them work. And schools have to increase and upgrade their infrastructure so that this stuff starts to look the same. In the SEC network, I mean, we keep using that as an example. I mean, but, they have this money. You have to have leadership say, we need this stuff to start looking uniform. And then once you get that part, increase the infrastructure so that everybody has the ability to do kind of the same things. Yeah, you're going to have different things that go just based on the individual schools, but increase the infrastructure so you can finally start to put out your content and just make your mark in general. But man, that's all I had to say, man.
I love it,
That's
Jamie.
it.
I love it, Jamie. Appreciate the call, man. And I'm a caveat what you said. Listen, he's preaching. You might not get it or understand it, but he's preaching low key. That is it. Listen, the uniformity across the board. And I've been saying this since last year. There's no reason that FAMU and Valley should look the way they look and Alabama State look like trash. And PV look like trash. And Grambling damn near gave me a seizure last year when I was trying to watch Texas Southern versus Grambling. Uniformity. Okay? And that should be held by the commissioner and the presidents. The commissioner should let me say this. Everybody be dick riding the commissioner. Do you think if the commissioner walked into a meeting with the president and says, hey, I got a couple of sponsors that said, hey, I would love to sponsor. I would love to give money to the SWAC, but just the footage is just so everywhere. We got to come with a uniformity standard. You don't think that the presidents will go back to their media departments and say, hey, this is what we're trying to do. This is what's going on. This is what we need to have done. It starts with somebody. It starts with somebody saying, hey, it has to look right across the board. And I've been saying that Valley and FAMU should be giving classes to all you SWAC schools about production because it just looks better. It just looks better. I don't get it. I do not understand it. And I'll say this, and I want to go back to what somebody said. He said, yeah, man, all those ideas you just said, Scotty, are great, but I was listening to another show and they said they don't want to do that. They want to keep the same flow that Coach, they don't want to keep the same flow that Coach Prime had. Listen, man, that is ego. That is ego. Let me tell you something. Let me give you a couple of examples, right? If Nick Saban left Alabama tomorrow, do you think that they are going to allow somebody to just completely go away from what Nick Saban did? Now, if you bring Urban Meyer in, if you bring Lincoln Riley in, if you bring in Lane Kiffin, they'll probably let you tweak it, you know what I'm saying? But they're not going to go too far off the motto of what Nick Saban left behind because he was a winner and it worked. I don't have an issue with Jackson State wanting to distance themselves from Deion, but you was going to have to do it regardless. You was going to do that regardless because of the simple fact that he's not there anymore. But what he's left you and the blueprint that he's left you, the mere fact that you're just trying to go a complete 180 does not make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense to me. I'm going to be a whole buck with you. It doesn't make any sense to me because you saw that it worked. You can make it your own. Why? You can call it something different. You can give it segments. You can highlight different players. You can do more with what was shown to you, okay? They only highlighted the superstar players. Now you highlight all the players, right? My boy Gents, you talk about Seven. You put Seven McGee in front of it. You put Jason Brown on somebody. You talk to Niles Gaddy Moore. You do that, but it's just you share the love. The raw edited cut up footage, that was hot. It was hot. Everybody loved it. That's why the model has not changed from Jackson to Colorado because it was successful. So the mere fact that you think that you're going to do something completely different, a complete 180, and it be more successful, no, you're just saying, oh, well, I know people are going to watch it because it's Jackson, but we're going to do it our way. That's ego. That's pride and ego. Now, I don't mind you sprinkling in your way, but to go completely away from what Deion did, to me, that makes no sense. I just think that's just pride. You know what I'm saying? But hey, do what you do, Jackson. That's your business. You do what you do. Guard the kitty cat. How about that? Tell your president to guard the kitty cat. All right, that's what y'all need to be doing anyway. Y'all over here talking about how about y'all Bama's get on ESPN? How about that? Anyway, that's neither here nor there. But I'm just at the end of the day, man. I just wish that people would understand that there is value in HBCU. There's value in it. You just gotta find it. You gotta put it in, and you gotta do the work, and you gotta cultivate it. It just is what it is, man. It just is what it is. Oh, man. Why is it always the person from Jersey talking like people, one, care about Rutgers? Nobody gives a damn. Second of all, nobody gives a damn about New Jersey. It's the armpit of America. And three, it's real funny that you have all this negative comment, but you on a HBCU channel. Why aren't you on a Rutgers channel? Is there a Rutgers channel you can be on right now? No. Okay? Because nobody gives a damn about Rutgers. Okay? So what are we talking about right now? The reason you're on the HBCU channel is because of Deion. And you still on the HBCU channel. Come on, man. Stop it, man. You from Jersey. Nobody gives a damn about Jersey. It's Jersey. The mere fact that you called yourself Jersey Shiesty lets me know that nobody cares about you. It's like when people ask you, hey, what does your name mean? The mere fact that you put Jersey in front of anything lets me know that nobody cares about you. That's really what it is. So you trying to rep. You trying to rep for something that nobody cares about. Okay. Got it. Roger that. All right. So it just kills me. It just kills me, man. It just kills me, man. So anywho. So guys, once again, my second time getting up out of here, man. I went for a whole nother hour messing with you guys, but I appreciate the call. I appreciate it. Listen, guys, and I'm gonna tell you this. At the end of the day, I'm gonna tell you this. I know I'm very critical, I'm very harsh, but at the end of the day, what people say on the other channels about what isn't work, listen, you can't tell me that there is no value in what HBCUs put out. You just cannot tell me that. Right? Now, is everything valued the same? Absolutely not. That's life. You know what I'm saying? Soccer don't get the same views as football. You know what I'm saying? And badminton don't get the same views as volleyball. That's life, right? That's just in general. That's how it works. But to dismiss stuff outside of football and basketball, I disagree. I completely disagree with that. And I think there's value in what you put value in. And you figure out a way. That's why I keep trying to tell y'all, FAMU went viral for stuff outside of football. That should let you know that if you find the right content, you can make it work. But teach his own. But hey, guys, as always, man, this has been my time. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Did not mean to go this long, but I thank you for all the callers. Thank you for everybody that's typed in and tuned in. Probably gonna go do more late shows since that's what people. I'm looking at the poll. That's like 50-50 on this joker. Wow. 48-52. All right. So it is what it is. And shout out to my boy Kelly Flicks, man. I saw your new show. I love the graphics. I wish I was cool enough to have graphics like yours. I saw it, man. Shout out to you, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Stay consistent with it. All right. So listen, until next time, you know what I'm going to do. I'm a holler. God bless.